Hi, I'd like to go ahead and use this whiteboard to explain how static electricity actually works. In an earlier video, I showed that if you rub a plastic rod against some rabbit fur, then that causes the plastic rod to get a negative charge. Let's explore the reasons why. To understand that, you have to think about the number of positive protons and negative electrons inside an object. Before I rub these together, both the plastic rod and the rabbit fur have no static electricity. That means the number of protons and electrons within them must be equal. So, in the case of the plastic rod, I'll put 3 protons and I'll also put 3 electrons. That means this plastic rod is neutral because it has the same number of positive protons as negative electrons. Likewise, the rabbit fur also starts off as neutral. Now, because it's neutral, it has the same number of protons and electrons within it. Not necessarily the same as the number in the plastic rod, but the same number within the fur itself. So I'll put 4. So we'll go ahead and put 4 protons and 4 electrons. So both the rabbit fur will also be neutral because it has the same number of positive protons as negative electrons. Now when you rub them together, this is called charging by contact. And what ends up happening is that electrons have a slight preference for one material more than another. And so some of the electrons will move from one object to the other. In this case, when you rub the plastic rod against a rabbit fur, a couple of the electrons will prefer to be in the plastic rod rather than in the rabbit fur. So I'm just going to move 2 of these. When 2 electrons move from the rabbit fur to the plastic rod has a negative charge. You can tell because it has 3 protons but 5 electrons. Since it has more electrons than protons, it will have a negative charge. Logically, the rabbit fur has a positive charge. You'll notice that because it lost electrons, it now is left with more protons and electrons. 4 positive protons, 2 negative electrons means that this rabbit fur will have a positive charge. One of the key concepts about static electricity is that it's always the electrons that move, never the protons. You notice the number of protons in each of these objects did not change at all. And it doesn't in ordinary life because the protons are trapped inside the nucleus of the atom. They can't move around easily. On the other hand, the electrons are outside of the nucleus, and it's very easy, by comparison, for an object to steal an electron or 2.